Hey, okay. Huh. I think we're working now. Yeah. All right. Yep. Cool, 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 cool. Sign into chat. Why would I have to sign in to my own thing? Oh, you got to be kidding me. Uh, why can't technology just work? And apologies, just a little bit longer. Trying to get the chat panel opened up. Hmm. Okay. Sweet. All right, everything looks like it's working now. Oh my god. All right, I guess I'm just not going to have access to the chat panel. That's fine. I guess I didn't want to see what people were saying in chat anyways. That's a lie. I really did. That helps for me interacting with everybody. Ugh. Come on. All right, well, I've wasted enough time. So unfortunately, that's just not going to work. I'm going to go ahead and open up Discord though. So if you are watching live and you want to chat with me while we're doing this, you can go ahead and use Discord. Come on. Let's put this over here. There we go. That'll work better. Great. Awesome. Okay. I will be in the general chat channel, and that's where we can chat. Awesome. Okay. Oof. So I'm a little rusty. It has been a few months since our last stream and our last game jam session, but you know, there's no time like the present to get back into it, right? So here's our read in, and we are good to go. Three, two, one. Hello and welcome to Grimlight Games. I'm your host, Grimmy, and today we are going to be going through the submissions that we received for We Be Jammin' number 7. The theme for this jam was connections, and we got quite a few submissions. So this is going to take a while. I am going to try to be very, very strict with myself about how much time we spend with each submission and entry, so that way everybody will get a fair amount of screen time, and hopefully I'll be able to play enough of everybody's game to give you an honest critique and feedback on what is going on. So, for those of you who are new to how we do this, we're going to play through the game, and first and foremost, we are going to give blind reactions. So, I have not played any of these yet intentionally, so that way all of my reactions as soon as we start up are 100% authentically fresh eyes seeing your game for the very first time. So after we play through for a couple minutes, we'll make note of things that we see as we go, things we like as a player, things we like as a game developer, things we don't like as a player, things we don't like as a game developer. So I'll try to make sure that I give you a heads up on what point of view I'm trying to take with the information that I am giving. And yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right in. So Zenith is going to be our first game. This was submitted by Happy Dudes. Let's see. You were once part of the syndicate. Now you're the loose end they failed to cut. Oh, gotta love a story that starts like that. Let's see, features high-intensity, wave-based combat, cyberpunk aesthetic, one of my favorites, vertical progression through a massive tower, a revenge-driven narrative about severing connections. Haha, there's our theme! Elevator-based progression, linking each floor. Okay. Anything else we need to know? I'm going to assume we'll get all of our controls inside of the game. Let's go ahead and launch. What? Oh my god. What? Why? Every time. Every time, without fail. Just some kind of technical error going on. Okay. Compression was enabled, but web server hosting the content was misconfigured. We may end up just having to fire this one up through the web page. Yeah, looks like it's not going to work for us. That is unfortunate. But we do have our submissions up here. Game page. Looks like we could play it right in the browser, so we don't need to worry about the download. I don't think we're running into an error here. Sometimes the very first load of a game can take a hot minute. Riveting stuff we've got going on here. Hey, here we go. Nice. Okay, all right. So first and foremost, I do like we've got a little control readout over here to help us know. Nice choice of font. It definitely fits with the cyberpunk aesthetic, and as well, it is readable. So a lot of times, as a game developer, something that you can run into is like, a font looks really cool and it fits your game or your motif, but then when it comes to information that your player needs to read, if they can't read it or understand it, that definitely does become a problem. Tower mode, survival, elite. Oh boy. Let's see, so we've got left mouse button is going to be our shoot, right mouse button melee, W plus left mouse button is going to be our grenade. We can move with AD, S for crouch, shift to dodge, space to jump. Oh man, there is going to be quite a bit of stuff going on here. All right, I like reload. Okay, we can handle that. We've got swap weapon right here. All right, I guess we're just gonna hop right into tower mode and see what goes on here. Wow, nice art. This is definitely super super cyberpunk. Alright, so we have to be facing the direction that we want to shoot. We cannot, we have no mouse cursor whatsoever. We have no mouse cursor whatsoever. But, alright, we're gonna get there. I mean, are they just gonna keep killing? Do I just have to keep killing enemies and then eventually, yeah, alright, so we'll block off on both sides. So I'm thinking the idea is we just have to survive, take out the enemies. Energy sword. Oh, nope, that's not an energy sword. Pistol machine gun. And then I've got energy sword. Was there a melee button? Did I miss that? Oh yeah, it was right mouse button. It's a bit of a clunky animation for the swinging, but of course, you know, we had limited time. Oh, hey, whoa! Alright, we got snipers. Okay, I see why you've got the crouch in here now. Oh, we have limited ammo on that. Oh, careful. Don't poke me with your bat. Health packs too. Woo. I'm liking this so far. to a really cool setup you've got going on. You know, everything that you would expect in this type of game is here. We've got an ability to dodge. Of course, we have infinite ammo on our pistol, always nice. Hey. So that's why we have to jump. It's for when those people start shooting at our feet. I do wish that the people shooting at us didn't start shooting at us off screen. It's just a little bit annoying, but exit. But I can't exit. What? Oh my. I don't know, for some reason, some of these enemies blend into the background. I am colorblind, so that might be something to consider for game design. Ooh, nice. A little dodge through the air. Ah! Oh my. Wait, grenade launcher? I don't even know when I picked that up. Reload. I think I need to wait until I get to this level to talk my thoughts on the enemy aesthetic and the background aesthetic of the level. How much health does this chonky guy have? Demo. Woo! Okay, hey, we took out the boss floor, and it looks even more beyond this. Alright, so we are coming up on our 5 minutes, so I do want to make sure I get some time to actually talk my thoughts. Just unfortunately, this is a very action-packed game, so it's a little bit challenging to not be completely decimated by the enemies while talking about it. So with the enemies in the background and the colors that you've chosen, it's really cool, right? Like there's so many cool things going on here. I love the parallax that you've got going on in the background. I love how everything's situated and set. But putting on my game dev shoes and my player shoes here, so it's getting a little washed out in the background. Some of the enemies, not all of them. Your snipers with their setup and everything, they popped from the background a lot. But some of those melee enemies, they got a little bit washed out, and it made it very tricky for me to even notice that I was running into them at first. Because, you know, there's a lot going on, right? It's an action game, so you got to be paying attention. So that could be something to consider just for general game design, or if you have a settings menu, which it does not seem like there is a settings menu. So real quick, I do want to address this one issue. And for those of you who have been around for a while, you know this is one that I always love to hammer home. When you make a game, give the player the ability to adjust the music volume and the sound effects volume, and just all of the volume that you have. Master volume, that's great to have, but not necessary. As long as you have a music volume and you have a sound effects volume control, that's perfect. Set yourself up with something you can just quickly preload into every game that you do. I tell you, especially for jam games or just a finished product in general, that is a huge add-on that is going to make a huge quality of life improvement for anybody that picks up your game to play. Other than that, let's see, our gameplay loop, obviously for tower mode, it's very cool, right? Like you've got your situation where you can't go further on either end. You've got boss levels set up. You've got enemies. Yeah, it's the guys with not them, not these guys. They don't wash out in the background. Those guys wash out a little bit, and then the other ones with the spiky hair wash out. Yeah, that guy, he washes out just a little bit. But yeah, so exit. No, actually, we're gonna let them take me out and see how everything situates taking us back. So let's cover what's going on here. Game loop. I like the game loop. I think it's very solid. You've got a fully fleshed out, completed project here for game jams. That's awesome. That's great. Can't tell if this is what's going on with that animation. I think your art style and art direction is fantastic. It went really well with this. All right, so we got our defeat. We accomplished 4 floors, 51 kills. Basic enemies 42, elites 8, bosses 1. Nice. We got a little stat readout too. Awesome. I'm going to assume survival's probably just one level where you go as far as you can. I do want to check out what elite is real quick before we keep going. Alright, so it looks like it's situated the same way tower was. Ah! Oh, that's what it is. But we just got the elite coming at us. Okay, cool. But definitely another way that a settings menu would help you out a lot here. Like if I could hit escape, access volume control, or hit escape to go back to the main menu, things like that. That's a huge quality of life thing that can really boost what you've got going on, especially for jam games, right? But I can see where a lot of your focus was. I mean, this art is amazing. You've got really solid gameplay mechanics going on here. Some of the animations, they may have looked a little bit clunky, but I'd say as far as hitboxes go, everything seems to hit very fairly. And that's something to really keep in mind when you are designing hitboxes. There's this very fine line between having one that is too generous to the player and then not generous enough, and it ends up becoming a frustration and a pain. Theme interpretation. The theme of this game was connections. Well, quite evidently, we didn't have any story really to go off of here, other than what was written up for the game's description. But as far as the actual gameplay is concerned, we can, in fact, see some connections here. Well, you've got to take an elevator to get from level to level. So, pretty loose interpretation, but again, the theme of this one was designed to be very open-ended, so that way, you know, we could not pigeonhole anybody. Original concept. I wouldn't necessarily say that there's anything super original about, you know, the climb the tower, the back and forth, enemy spawning and whatnot, but I still like the way in which you executed everything. I think you did really well there. So that brings us to technical execution. Short of not having a settings menu, short of not having a way for me to move back to the main menu while in-game, or a way to pause the game while I'm going, there are no bugs. I didn't run into any bugs. Everything seemed to work just fine. I think you've coded this very well and solid. So, yeah, man. Fantastic freaking work. Zenith by Happy Dudes. Thank you so much for your submission. That was great. And look at that, guys. We're coming in right at 10 minutes. Love it. Let's see if we can actually get our next game to fire up in the Itch app. All right, looks like next up we're going to be checking out Overwire. Overwire comes from The Masked One. Oh, we've had some really cool submissions from The Masked One in the past. I'm excited to see what we get going on here. This game was made for We Be Jammin, Game Jam. The theme was connections. All I can say, everything connects. The game is kinda inspired by Friday Night Funkin', FNF, and Flow Free. I don't know those games. So this will be even more of a new look for me. All right, let's check out what we got going on. Doesn't look like we have any more information we need to worry about there. Launch. Yeah. All right, we've got Overwire. Oh, man. Is that the way the font is supposed to look, or is my screen resolution doing some funky things here? Hopefully that was the desired choice, but man, I will tell you, the movement with that, I am an old man, right out of the gate. This is kind of making me a little bit nauseous trying to watch that. Hopefully the rest of the text in the game does not follow suit with that. Let's see, we've got play, how to play, settings. There's my settings menu, credits, quit. Let's check out our credits real quick. The Masked One. I made everything except the sound effects and music from pixabay.com. Nice little credits set up there, perfect. I'm going to assume, yep, there's our back button. Nice, nicely done. Settings, great, we can control our volume up to 100. I'm going to go ahead and just put it down. Oh, I do love that you have like an actual slider you can move. Can you input? Nope, just the slider. All right, cool. We're going to put this down right out of the gate just in case. Let's see, how to play. You work with wires. Use WASD to move. Space, enter to switch wires. Okay, so I do see two different colors here. Looks like we're going to be swapping between those two. Fantastic. Press at the right time. Any button. Oh, I don't have an any button on my keyboard. Uh-oh, am I going to be all right with it? Well, We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Star pointing to box. I'm guessing that's what we're going for. Connect them for high score. Watch out for risk bar. Okay, so as this falls to the left, we're at risk. So it looks like we need to connect our blue through a series. And I'm assuming... Okay, this is going to be like a puzzle game. So for instance, something like this, like for the red, we'd have to connect here. For blue, we'd have to connect here. Okay, all right. I think we're ready. Doggy? Boom. Broken machine. Death. Oh boy. All right, so I'm assuming those are the names of the levels and that's the difficulty. All right, cool, cool, cool. So first job. Let's go ahead and start here. So I'm not getting any sound. What? What is going on? Don't play any more stats. Perfect. 1. Great. 0. 2. Miss 5. Let's try first job again, because I clearly did not understand. So we're supposed to connect. Is that it? All right, so I'm hitting the W key right as it hits here, which I'm assuming that's what they meant. Perfect timing. Okay, yeah, because there was the picture of the star heading towards the box. But what? Oh, oh my. Okay, all right. So now I get it. I have to move this and connect it while also catching these stars. Let's see. I'm gonna do spacebar for that. Best you could do. I must have run out of risk. All right, let's try again. I think I'm starting to understand how this game is played. Oh, I'm... Okay. So actually, I'm running into the wall. I hit it too fast. That's what's going. No? What? Okay, it moved down that time. So what's... Huh. I feel... Why can't I hit down there to go? Huh. Okay. Let's try this level. I am hearing some sound effects now. Oh my god. That's terrifying. I don't quite understand what's going on with the risk bar. Huh. Let's try this one more time. Oh. I think I get it, but hold on. I need any button. Use space enter to switch wires. So I don't have... So I guess I shouldn't hit space or enter to catch the stars. But here's what I'm running into that's difficult. And I think this is probably going to fall into the technical execution. This could just be me being dumb. That's entirely possible. But so what I'm seeing here, right? We're using WASD to move through the grid to get from point A to point B. And we never actually encountered something where we needed to switch wires. But we also need to catch these stars to manage our risk. So every time we make a move... Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. All right. I think I know what I'm doing now. Okay, so when these come, I'm going to move, right? So we're going to wait. W. Up. Aha! I get it now. Oh my goodness. So basically, You're connecting it only when the stars go through. All right, so those I missed those couple. All right, I get the game now. I totally understand. Oh my goodness, I'm so upset that it took me that long to really figure out what was going on there and how to play this game. That's pretty clever. Okay, so you're moving through a puzzle with WASD, but you have to time your movements through based on the stars coming through at the same time. So where you start to run into the difficulty curve is when those stars start to come really quick. You've got to like pre-plan your next several keystrokes. I totally get it. Let's check out Death. Let's see what's going on here before we move on to critiquing. Um, Wait, I have to get to that. Ah, crap. And by the time I figured out what I was trying to do there, too many stars came by. Okay. All right. I understand what's going on with this game now. That's pretty clever. Okay. Yeah. Pretty clever. Pretty clever. It's a little bit tricky to play. I definitely, don't want to sell short there, but I get the concept of the game. I see what you're going for. Okay. Um, so it says music. I'm not getting any music. Maybe that's something going on my end, but I was getting the sound effects eventually. Unless maybe the music's just really low. Now that it's up all the way, let's see if that pops up. Oh, there is music. It's just really low. Yeah, I had to crank up the volume over here. Okay. Yeah, actually, it's funny now that I'm looking at my audio mixer, which I guess I could have looked at the whole flipping time. Yeah, there is in fact music playing. It's just very low. It's very quiet. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I know what we're gonna talk about here. Or meow. Okay. So game loop. As far as how we would rate it, I would say the learning curve was a little bit tricky, a little bit challenging. Um, I'd say, maybe there's a way to explain it a little bit better. Um, I mean, obviously now that I figured it out, like looking back at everything that you've written here, it does make sense. But it took a little bit of time to kind of figure out what was going on here. So thinking from perspective of a game dev, so how is that going to, or how can we improve upon that? So that way you don't have a player hopping into your game like I have no idea what I'm doing. Um, so what you can do is you can tutorialize the show don't tell process. So instead of something, like this, which is fine, it's perfectly fine for game jams and for games in general. But if you want to take it to that next level, what you do is you set up your first level as a tutorial level. So as soon as we hop into first job, what you would have it do then is now, as these stars are coming, the game would like pause right before this star hits the block. And then something on the screen would say something like, okay, now try to move in time with the star. So then as soon as that, like, and you can even say like, hit the D key to move right. So then the player would then hit the D key, it would unpause the game, and then the game would register that the player hit the D key right as the star came through the square. So now you've shown your player, hey, you are managing your risk, right, by watching the stars, and you're executing it in a way in which you can hit it at the same time. So then you would have it do it again for like the next one. And you would basically lead the player through the first puzzle that way, connecting it as it goes and pausing the game and then showing them this is what you do, this is how you time it. Right? So that's a way that you could work around that. And I mean, even just having that set up like tutorial wise, that's your first level right there. And then it's going to execute what we like to call the show, don't tell. Um, Now, I don't know if everybody's the same way, but I will say as a gamer myself, I much prefer the show to tell. I find that I can end up jumping into games a lot quicker with the show don't tell, and then of course, once you've kind of figured out the game from there, it's good, it's golden. Theme interpretation. Well, obviously we're trying to connect point A to point B, so I think you really hit the nail on the head right there with theme interpretation. So fantastic work. Original concept. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to say, as far as puzzle games go, this is pretty original. I've never actually tried to basically navigate a maze, while also trying to time um, my movements to manage a couple different things that are going on. So it's a little overwhelming, but I will say your concept is very original, and I think there's absolutely room to work in here. Um, Definitely slow down the speed at which the stars fly towards that box, especially for the first level, because I mean, man, that is that is a very steep difficulty curve. Um, Technical execution. I mean, everything works the way you intended it to, so I can't really dock you any points for technical execution, because really it was just my lack of understanding on how the game actually plays. Once that is established, then obviously we know what's going on here, right? I know that I need to manage this. We're going to lose risk every time a star moves through, and we need to connect everything before time runs out. Okay? Yeah. So I get it. And now I see. I wanted to try and switch to see if I could switch the color there, but again, it just happened so quick. We run out of risk. So, oh, did I just notice? Oh, apparently your score is cumulative over your plays, so you can actually go into negative. Okay, all right. That's a little disheartening. You might want to hard cap that at 0 for people. But I mean, yeah, I can see. I can see. All right. So another fine submission from the masked one. Thank you so much for coming back and jamming with us. It was a pleasure trying to figure out this game, and once I got it, that's a very, very clever concept. I liked it. So thank you for your submission. Moving right along, because we are already 30 minutes into the stream, and I have done a whopping 2 games. All right, back to our collections. All right, next up we've got Order Link. Okay. Yep, don't worry, Homemade Superstar. So as you will see, where is it? So yours, it actually is unable to be installed. So I'll just show you real quick. So I wasn't even able to install it from the itch loader. So I had to go ahead and did a separate download and install. So when we get to that, we'll be all set. No worries. Next up, we've got Order Link. Order Link, submitted by Sanjeet. Sanjeet has been with us since the beginning. It has been such an honor watching as every single game. They just get better and better and better. So I'm very curious what you've got going on here. A password guesser game where you have to make connections between guesses to identify the correct password. Oh, okay, okay. Got some credits for our font asset. All assets and code were freshly made by me for this jam. Fantastic. All right. In case browser is unable to run the game, follow these steps. Well, we're just going to try and fire it up from the actual setup anyways. Let's see if it works. Sometimes I run into some issues. Hey, it looks like it did in fact work. All right. Wow. You made these links? Oh no. That's all right. That happens sometimes. Good thing I did my obligatory wait to see if it crashed out and reloaded. And this isn't anything with Sanjeet's game. Just for some reason on my system when I load up things through the itch app, it does that. I don't know why. I'm really digging this, and I like that the light source is accurately reflecting as these are moving. This is huge graphical upgrade for you, my friend. Nice work. All right. Another fun fact for those of you watching, Sanjeet does their own music. So you're listening to them jamming out right now. I'm liking it. I am going to pull the music volume down just a little bit, so that way it doesn't overpower me. But I'm really liking the tune that you're jamming to right there. Nice. Okay. So let's go ahead and play Order Link. The password is 1256. Let me explain the rules. I will only tell once, so pay attention. So the password is 1256. So I'm assuming we don't know that. So then we choose 5162. Now, that's all white, but if we choose 1, 2, 3, 4, this is now telling us that 2 of those numbers are in the correct position, I'm assuming? Right, so none of the numbers are in the correct position here, so they're all white. Over here, 2 of the numbers are in the correct position, so we've got 2 green and 2 white, and then same thing over here, 2 green, 2 white to signify that. Oh man. Wow. This seems like it potentially is going to be tricky, but let's see when we get into it. This is a password guesser game in which you have to guess a 4-digit number by pulling the corresponding chain. Huh, okay. The numbers are unique and order of guess matters. For example, if the password is 1256, then guessing 5162 won't work. To help you with this process, you will be given indications whether your guess is partially correct or not. There are mainly 2 indicators. First being if all the numbers are correct, and the second being the order. Okay. Let's take the same example, 1256. If you guess 5162, there will be 4 white circles representing 4 correct numbers. Oh, okay, alright, never mind. This is, wow. Oh, clever, okay. So the white circles are going to indicate how many numbers are correct in the sequence. And then the green circles are going to indicate if there are correct numbers in the correct order. No, actually, I think that did a pretty good job of explaining it. So I think we can move on. I'm pretty sure I've got an idea of how this is. Let's go. How do you understand? Maybe not. I won't explain further, though. Just go ahead and play once. You will hopefully understand better. One more thing. You have only 18 turns to guess the number. Why 18? Don't be stingy with such details. All right. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Turns left, 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to choose 1, 3, 6, and 4. Okay, so 1, 3, 6, 4. We got 3 of the numbers correct, and 1 of them is in the correct position. So by that logic, we can do something like 1, 6, 3, 5. Okay, so now we know, since we replaced 4 with 5 and we only got 2 numbers, we know that the correct number, we know that the correct numbers are going to be 1, 2, 6, and 4. And none are in the correct order, so we know that 1 is not first. So let's try 6, 2, 1, and 4. Oh. Is there another number that I missed? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where, how am I? 1, 3, 6, 4. 1, 6, 3, 5. Oh, I guess... Well, no. Oh, because only 2 of them are correct. So it must be... Maybe it's 1, 3, 4 that's correct. And if that's the case... No, because we got 6, 2, 1, 4. So what are the common denominators here? I'm pretty sure 1 we know is good. So 2 must be in it. Maybe 6 is the one that's incorrect. Let's try that. Let's try 3, 4, 2, 1. Okay, we've got all the correct numbers now. 3, 4, 2, 1. But which one's in the correct position? So if we look at this one, which is like our closest match, 1, 3, 6, and 4. But none of the numbers are in the same correct position. So we can guess that maybe 4 is first. And then we'll try 1. And then 2, 3. Dang it. None are in the correct position. Okay. So then 2 should be first. We've done 3 second, which that actually might be correct. Yeah, because it's incorrect at the third. So I think 3 is our second number. We haven't had 4 in the third slot yet. And we have had 1 in the final slot. Okay, this might be it. This might actually be the password. There it is. We did it. Heck freaking yeah. Nice. Okay. Oh man. All right. I really, really enjoyed this. So I guess obviously we're gonna touch on all of the things, right? So let's talk about your game loop first. Super simple, but I mean, start to finish, right? Like, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that the puzzle's randomized, right? So let's just for shits and giggles. Yeah. So the puzzle is in fact randomized. So this is great, right? I mean, you've got so much replayability here with this little bit of a loop. Oh, there's no way we can get out of here. All right. So yeah, as far as the game loop's concerned, I mean, simple but perfect. This is great. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's even anything that you could really do to like beef up the game loop. I mean, it's like perfect in its simplicity. This would be a great little puzzle game that you could build off of. I'm trying to think like what other kinds of puzzles could you get with like a password guesser? I mean, you could like add a whole other difficulty level where you start to increase the number of chains. So I mean, that right there, that could be your go-to. And you could even have an easier difficulty level too, where maybe it's only like 4 chains, right? So awesome, great work. Theme interpretation, connections. Well, there's a lot of subtlety here, but there's also some on the nose. So let's cover the on the nose. Well, you've literally got chain links, right, that are connected. And those are connected to the numbers, which are connected to your puzzle. So everything is literally connected. But when we talk about it from the more ambiguous side, right? So there's a connection between the numbers you pick, the chains you pull, and what the password ultimately is. So heck yeah, great interpretation of the theme. Original concept? Yeah. I mean, the concept necessarily of a password guesser game where, you know, you get told things in the right spot, that isn't necessarily an original concept, but your execution of it is very original, right? Pulling on the chains, going through a series of numbers. Yeah, no, it's original. It's not original, but it is original. Good job there. Technical execution. I have run into absolutely no bugs. Everything functioned as appropriately. We had a settings menu so we could adjust the music volume. The only thing that I'm going to give you even a little bit of critique on for your technical execution, I would love to be able to hit escape inside of the game and return to the main menu or access the settings menu from there. But that's just a tiny little nitpicky thing, just because I feel like I've only had amazing things to say about this entry. And while it was absolutely amazing, I feel like part of this is that, you know, we want to grow, we want to get better. So trying to find something in which you could improve this, setting that up, right? So here's your moving forward. Set it up so you can adjust the difficulty level up or down, like a whole other series of puzzles for more chains, series of puzzles for less chains, and then give us a way to access back and forth from the game. And my dude, you've got a game here. Like, you can absolutely sell this. All right? So maybe let that be some inspiration. Don't let this one just collect dust forever on the shelf. I think this one definitely deserves a revisit down the road after you've cranked out a few more things and really gotten your dev wheels wet even more. Don't let this idea collect dust. This is one that I think you can absolutely revisit in the future and do some great things with. All right, how are we going to actually get out of the game? We're going to do this. Close window. Bam. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for your submission, Sanji. That was a real treat to play. Okay, next up, we're going to be going into Gummy Bear Galaxy, the secret ingredient. So I believe that this is going to be an interactive novel. I did kind of glance at some of these games prior. I have not actually played it. So this is a bubbly story about friendship, crushes, and gummy sweet misadventures. High school life is fun. So is your weekend job at Gummy Bear Galaxy. It's another busy day working at the candy store until an unexpected issue comes about. When you run low on a special ingredient, it is time to take a trip to the next town and have some adventures along the way. Your gang of friends are ready to join you. Bold and athletic Hector is the vice captain of the tennis club and an outgoing friend. Shy and quiet Dexter is the school's resident genius and another close friend. Lively Lisa works with you at the candy store and strives to be there for you. In this short high school romance story, work your weekend job, build a relationship, and go on misadventures with your friends. So I'm totally looking forward to channeling my inner high school female, and we're going to figure out who is going to be our best romance option. So this should be a lot of fun for me, and hopefully a lot of fun for you guys to watch through as well. So let's check this out. Let's see, can I launch it? I can, quite in fact, launch it straight from the Itch app. Wonderful, okay. Show stats, achievements, menu. Ooh. I gotta say already, so we've had a couple of interactive novels brought to our jam previously. And this is the first time we've encountered one that's got even a little bit more going on here. This is really cool. Show stats. So, I mean, obviously that's probably going to populate once we actually have some stats. I'm curious what is going to pop up there. Achievements. Oh, I mean, it's an interactive novel that even has achievements? That's pretty freaking cool. Main menu. Achievements restart. Change settings. Is that what this is? Make text bigger. Ah, okay. Hey, we've got a pretty sophisticated settings menu going on here too. Nice work. Curious what this drop-down menu is. Could just be a space saver. New save, load, delete. Okay. Good morning, honey. Come for breakfast when you're ready. Scrambled eggs and hash again. Mom's favorite. Today is Saturday. Still, that does not mean you get the day off. One day a week, either Saturday or Sunday, you work on your apprenticeship at Gummy Bear Galaxy, Mom's candy store at the Pinewood Mall. Nevertheless, it could be loads of fun. Hector, the tennis club's rising star, is bound to be there. Maybe you will see shy and sweet Dexter too. You check the name tag on your bag. It reads, "Hey, we actually get to pick our name?" Ooh, I'm curious. Something else. Do we actually get to put something in, or does it auto-populate more options? Look at that. Very nice. Very great attention to detail there, allowing your player, your reader, to actually pick their own name. Let's see. My name is going to be Christine with a K, because why not? Oh, we get to pick a last name too? You know what? Instead of something else here, I think we're going to go with Darling, because I am a darling, all right? Oh, we get to continue fleshing out our character sheet more. Christine Darling, star student, candy maker, and queen of the social arena. Mere mortals tremble as you walk by. Okay, you were daydreaming again. Nobody's perfect. But you would still say you are particularly gifted in one area. Not all, but then again, few people are. Traits provide additional options during the story. Wow! These are mostly for flavor and have no hard impact on the game. So let's see. Am I a star student? Candy legend, an expert in making gummies? Or a prom queen, Always the center of attention. What more needs to be said? Well, let's see. If I'm channeling my inner high school girl, I think I would probably. Oh, see, I would say prom queen, but I was always the center of attention, but like not positive attention. So I think, and I was a terrible student. I really was. I think we're gonna be a candy legend. That's what we're gonna be. You had proven yourself to be quite adept in the candy business, maximizing chew and flavor with your own special techniques. People literally come on weekends just to buy gummies made by the candy legend's own hands. Mom once joked that you should quit high school and take over the business. That was a joke, of course. She would certainly be furious if you did. Still, it is nice to know that you have a special talent in Mom's own arena. Morning, Mom, you say, as she greets you with a sticky kiss. A sticky kiss, huh? You take a seat quickly at the dining table, helping yourself to some scrambled eggs. Mom's eggs are always the best, not the bland synthetic mush in West High's cafeteria. We're opening the shop later, she says. We have an hour. Sounds fair. That should be enough time for you to bathe, send a few text messages, and get changed. Lisa will be here today. Lisa Pendleton, your friend at West High, as well as one of Mom's employees. Lisa works the weekend at Gummy Bear Galaxy, cooking gelatin, adding flavors, and dealing with customers. Your partner in crime at the store. Lisa is a few months older than you. Still, she is your companion when working through the drudgery of Candyland. Questions for me, honey? Mom says. Do I get the evening off today? How long is Lisa's shift? What's my duty for today? Yeah, let's say, do I get my Saturday night off? You're free to go after 6. Yeah, after working a whole day, I am free to go after 6. Yeah, straight back home and to bed. Good God, I'd be on my feet all day and exhausted. I'll need to tend the store, but I'll give you some money for dinner. Sounds fair. You might be able to find someone to hang out with. Otherwise, you could always grab a burger or something and take a relaxing stroll home. In the interest of progressing the story, I think we are going to just kind of skip through some of these options. Very good, honey, Mom says, loading more hash on your plate. I'll see you at 8. Your eyes dart to the nearby clock. You have about half an hour left. You dig into the scrambled eggs. Gummy Bear Galaxy awaits. Jeez almighty, a 10-hour shift. God bless you. You will need to be ready soon. Ooh, we're on to the next chapter. Let's see, do we have stats yet? Oh, look at that. Oh, this is so cool. So as you're going through the game, as you're making these decisions and choices, this is where all that different stuff about you is going to populate. Nice. Very nice. Achievements. I don't think we had anything ready to go there yet. Seatbelts on, Mom says. She's pretty particular about that, likely because she got into a car accident years ago. You buckle up, checking your bag. Also, if this takes place in the U.S., it's pretty much a law for every single state for a minor to have their seatbelt on while driving, or in a car as a passenger. Pinewood Mall is not too far from your place. In fact, it is just a 30-minute walk. Good for exercise. Still, some ingredients are prepared at home and need to reach the store in double quick time. Mom checks the backup camera before slowly bringing the car out. You should have plenty of time to make some candy before opening the store. But first, you have one stop before heading to your destination. Lisa is ready, you say, checking your phone quickly. Let's go. Hi, Aunt Darling. Hi, Christine. Lisa waves as she gets into the back seat. I was just about to ask. Mom is not strictly her aunt, but is simply something Lisa calls her. Lisa's dirty blonde hair is tied in a bun, Mom's own strict requirement when working at Gummy Bear Galaxy. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for sanitary reasons when working around food. You smile at her as she buckles up. Today will be a long day. Hi, Lisa. Looking cheerful today. Have you had breakfast? Let's just say hi. Hi, Lisa. Lisa smiles gently back at you. It's going to be a long day today, Lisa says. Are you staying? I might be, you say. While Mom did say you were free to go in the evening, last-minute demands are still a thing. Sounds good, Lisa says, largely oblivious to your inner thoughts. Pinewood Mall is massive with close to 100 shops and restaurants. It sees plenty of business from tourists as well as students from the nearby universities. The sprawling parking lot is largely devoid of cars for the time being, although you expect the crowds to pick up later today. Either way, it does not take too long for Mom to find a good spot, a short distance away from the store. Unlike other malls, which enforce employee parking lots, Pinewood Mall largely uses a free-for-all system here, which suits Mom just fine. Mom rattles off another set of instructions. Christine, take the orange bag from the truck. Lisa, help me with these steel jars. We have less than 2 hours for prep before the shop opens. You nod, opening the trunk and reaching for the large orange bag. Gummy Bear Galaxy is a beautiful kaleidoscope of colors. Although pink and purple hues dominate here and there, Mom got a designer friend to get the vibe right. Even the kitchens have the same colors, complementing the sweet product you are about to make. Fruit juice, Christine, Mom says, taking out the saucepan. Lisa, bring me the gelatin. You walk briskly to the fridge, taking out the glass container with the fruit juice. Glancing at the recipe book quickly, you measure out the exact quantity with care before passing it to Mom. The kitchen has a great view of the mall where you get to watch dozens of clueless shoppers going about their day. Of course, that massive window before you works both ways, allowing potential customers to see that candy here is made on the spot with plenty of love and care. The Gummy Bear Galaxy style with natural ingredients. A curious boy presses his face against the glass, watching you work. Shake your head gently. Ignore him and continue working. I mean, I would probably ignore him and continue working, but that's just me. You're not a performer. Your job is to make candy. Impressing someone who is pressing their face against the glass is not part of the job description. Stay focused, Lisa says, through her mask. What? I am focused. You watch as Mom whisks the ingredients in the saucepan. While her face is half hidden by a face mask, you are almost certain that a strained look lies beneath it. Meanwhile, Lisa heads to the fridge, taking stock of the ingredients quickly. I'm making it sparkle, Mom says, with her usual dramatic flair. Suddenly, you hear the fridge close as Mom adds some honey to the mix. Lisa walks over to both of you gingerly with a nervous look on her face. We're low on Starburst sugar. I estimate this will last another week. Oh my. So unfortunately, that is where we are at for time. But I just gotta say, like straight out of the gate, this was really cool. I very much enjoyed this. I, I guess it's difficult to discuss game loop when it comes to an interactive novel. But I will say, like in lieu of assessing game loop, really kind of looking at the narrative quality and the gamification that you have set up around the game. I mean, this is pretty cool, right? So first off, you've got stats that will populate as you go through the game based on the decisions that you make. I think that's really cool. You even got achievements, right? So things that people can get as they're going through. That's great. That's fantastic. Ooh, and see here, this is where Candy Legend comes in. We might be able to make a substitute with sunfruit pectin and golden citrus oil. Yeah, only a Candy Legend would know that. So that's really cool. Let's see, theme interpretation, connections. I am going to assume that there is a theme of connection within the story. Based on the abstract that you had posted in the beginning, I am assuming that the story is going to lead into a group of friends kind of going on a mission or an adventure, right? So it'll probably address and discuss the connections between them, and then of course the fact that it is an interactive romance, it means that you are trying to make a connection with another character. All right, so yeah. I think this is a good theme interpretation. Original concept. Well, I mean, it's an interactive novel, so the narrative, this is definitely not one that I've ever encountered before. Your setting of a candy shop and all that stuff within a strip mall. Yeah, that's pretty gosh darn original, I would say, and it was very nice being able to channel my inner youth, my inner woman. It was very nice for me. No, it was kind of fun to pretend and jump into that. I've got a little bit of a theater background from earlier in my lifetime, and I do enjoy when I get to play a character. Especially somebody who is absolutely nothing like me at all. Technical execution didn't run into any issues. We are able to progress everything perfectly. Everything seems to work. I don't know what the whole deal is with the. Oh, you know what? I bet this is so you can select different save files. That's probably what that's for, right? Yeah. So if I do new save, we'll call it quick save, right? And then if we load, oh, yep, there it is. Yep, see. Okay, yeah, I figured it out. So yeah, technical execution. I think you did everything really well here. So another great, fantastic job. So thank you so much, Chance of Fire, for your submission. This was a real treat. I did enjoy that. Thank you very much. Moving right along. All right, where are we at? Oh my gosh, we're coming up on our first hour. How many more do we have to get through? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god. Oh, hang on. I gotta take a sip of water before we continue on. My goodness. Also, just to reiterate for anybody who might be in the chat of this live stream, for some reason I do not have access to the chat block. So if you are watching, if you would like to chat with me as we go through, hop on into our Discord server, join me in general chat. Okay, so we've got Revert, a cellular tomfoolery story. So we actually have to open this one up from, where are you? Revert. Revert, right? It is Revert? Okay, it is Revert. Has protected your PC? No, you can run it. I already scanned for viruses. Me. Wait. All right, there's more info. Oh, there we go. All right. We be loading, I think. Or not. No, it's trying to do something. Here we go. Oh. All right, okay. We got some production quality things going on here. Game by Unicode Software. Revert, a cellular tomfoolery story. Oh my. Okay. Perfect. So, we may as well touch on the very first thing, because it was the first thing that popped out at me. We're able to control all of our preferences. That's perfect. That's great. That is exactly what we want. All right. Nice. Fantastic. Good. Display, window full screen. Wow, we've got a pretty advanced preferences menu here. Skip, unseen text, after choices, transitions. No, we're not going to skip anything. Return, fantastic. About. Revert, a cellular tomfoolery story. Made with Ren Pi. I'm assuming that's the engine that you utilized to work on this. This program contains free software under a number of licenses, including the MIT license and GNU Lesser General Public License. A complete list of software, including links to full source code, can be found here. We're not going to go through all of that, but this is great. This is, good to make sure you have everything situated and set up so everybody gets the credit and everybody knows how things were figured. Keyboard. Okay. Wow. So we've got... Seriously, you've even got gamepad accessibility for this? My goodness, man. This is huge. That is huge for a Game Jam game. Nice work. Person's load start. All right, so we're just going to hop right in. System restored, engaged. Anything? No, nothing's interactive there. Let's hop on in. Approximately 10 weeks after the events of 404. Oh, I guess, let's just set it up to auto. Nice. Some hope begins to show. Chapter 1, The Reunion. BIOS. Beginning power on, self-test. All systems go! Loading. OS from SSD 0. Starting nucleus. Copyright 2009, Nanosoft. System status. Okay. Oh, I guess I accidentally disabled auto. Pager. Am I alive? Developer. You're alive! Who's there? Oh yeah, I disable auto if I click on the screen. Okay. Oh, sorry for startling you. I'm the developer. Developer? Like the person who created our world? Yes! Ooh, I get it. You may be curious about the world ending a couple weeks ago. I mean, I'm curious. But rest assured, I have a way to revert these events. Ah, we have a system backup!
Meanwhile.
Yeah, man, I still have not delved into cutscenes yet, but I can only imagine how challenging they are. Wait, I survived. This is trippy. I gotta find my way out of here. Why are strange things happening all of a sudden? COVID? You're here too? Yes, have you seen Flu? I can't find him anywhere. What's the point of causing chaos if you don't have your buddy? Oh my god. I don't know where he could be, but he's probably here somewhere. So at first I was thinking that this was taking place inside of a computer, but now I'm thinking this is taking place inside of someone's body. So that leads me to believe that Phager is an autophage, and of course we've got, you know, the COVID virus, and Selly, I'm assuming, is a cell? I thought COVID was just some annoying virus. I guess once you get to know a guy, you see the true side of him. I know now what I have to do. I have to find Phager, Atomica, and Neuralon. Okay, okay. So that's the plan. Yep. Interesting. First you reunite with Selly, Atomica, and Neuralon, then you wait for my signal. Alright, okay, I'm ready. What? Just had a little interruption in our stream there. Seems like everything's fine now, though. For anybody still watching, can you confirm that we are, in fact, still streaming? I mean, I'd like to assume that we are. Actually, I'm gonna check on my phone while we're going through this. My dog. Haven't seen you in a... Oh my god. Oh, alright, yep, looks like we have confirmation. We are still streaming, fantastic. The world has to be like this. Agreed, but don't worry. What do you mean? Well, I had a chit-chat with the man upstairs shortly before my dramatic entrance. The man upstairs. Alright, okay, so the developer is a euphemism for the man upstairs. So I guess that could be consciousness. That could be perhaps some kind of allusion to a creator being. Very interesting. I'm very enthralled with the layers that are kind of coming about here, right? So the developer of this game just shared with me that they cringed with the narrative. So I will say, yeah, the dialogue between the characters is pretty cringe-worthy, but there's a very interesting story going on here that I'm pretty sure I'm putting the pieces of together. with what you have provided to us. So I will say, from a narrative perspective, that's really good. Being able to kind of layer your narrative within things that are happening, um, you can absolutely get away with having pretty cringy dialogue, um, as long as it's not taking away from what's actually going on. Saving. Done. Chapter 2, Search and Rescue. What this kind of reminds me of? This is almost like watching a comic book. Right? Like if you could almost, as weird as maybe that kind of sounds, like if you can almost imagine you're watching a comic book, right? Like the pages are turning for you. There's a dialogue happening, and then obviously there's animations that are going on here as well. This is very interesting. I've never seen anything quite like this before.
Meanwhile,
Well, being told the stream went down. Everything looks... The heck, everything looks like it's up. But yeah, no, so we are coming up on time, so I am going to kind of go over some thoughts while we're going to let this keep playing out. So yeah, I think this is a really cool concept. I've never seen anything quite like this. It's an interactive novel, but it's I don't know, it's got something that I just haven't quite seen in interactive literature before. I will say that my experience with it is pretty narrow. I didn't even realize that interactive novels were a thing until I started running game jams and people were submitting them. But even just given what I've seen with interactive novels before, I'll say that the two that we got submitted for us this time around in We Be Jammin 7, it really does kind of emphasize some of the points that I had made in our earlier jams when we had interactive novels, where having sound effects, having music, having something like this almost perfectly encompasses a whole entire conversation I had about interactive novelization. And again, it's not something that I have a lot of experience with, but this is like exactly what I was talking about. Utilizing the sound cues, the music, and having everything kind of progress. This is great. It's well done. I will say, as far as interactive novels go, this was really well done. And I mean, I don't want to shortchange the previous one either. That one was really done well too, but they're really well done in different ways. So this is like a comic book interactive novel, and the other one was more like an interactive book. Having everything kind of set up where you were building a character within the story that you were reading, right? It's a very different concept to what we have going on here, but they're both doing their own things very well. So really cool, really cool. Let's see, as far as game loop goes, really isn't like a loop or anything to discuss there, but I mean, it's good, it's great. Theme interpretation, connections. I'm trying to figure out the theme. I guess I would argue that these characters are connected to one another, and they're evidently very connected to the world that they are living within. We got our VS Code going on up here. This cool. Okay. Wow. Original concept. Yeah, I have literally never seen anything like this. This is very original as far as I'm concerned. Now, obviously, anybody out there who might have more experience with visual novels, they might be able to, weigh in a little bit more on that. But as far as anything I've encountered, this is super original. And the story that you're kind of building in here as well, also very interesting and original too. There's all these cool parallels between an operating system for a computer, but also a living being. And I'm kind of intrigued with the direction you're taking with this. Technical execution, having such a robust preferences menu, really freaking cool. Everything seems to work just fine. Granted, I mean, I just hit auto and kind of let it go. So we didn't have to really even worry about that. But I am going to go ahead and quick save it here and go back because I want to be able to. Oh, back just goes back, back, back. Ah, gotcha. Okay. Because I was going to go back to the main menu, but it doesn't look like maybe prefs. Oh, okay, prefs takes me back to the main menu. Well, sort of to the main menu. Yeah, no, that's the main menu. Okay. Yeah. So hey, well done. Well done. Hopefully the stream has come back up. The intro was Phager booting back up. Okay. Yeah. I was picking up on that. Nice. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Thank you so much for this submission. This was really cool. All right. We are coming up on an hour 16. We are going to check out Together next. What do we got going on here? Ah, Thorfinn King, another returning champ. Thorfinn King's made some pretty cool stuff, so I'm very interested to see what we've got going on here. May have lag in the web, but the downloadable one doesn't have. Better just try the downloadable version. F is to switch characters, WASD, or... Oh, okay, all right. Oh, this must be for who was referring to setting up a game that could be multiplayer. All right, yeah. Let's check out what we've got going on here. Ooh, another good dot game. All right, let's see. So first off, the first thing that I like this art. It's got a very cool, simplistic pixel animation to it. Really cool setup with the silhouettes here, so we know what's going on. Did the game freeze? Everything stopped bouncing. Hmm. I might need to reboot. Burp. Let's try again. All right, checking out our credits. We've got sound by Pixabay, artist Thorfinn King, developer Thorfinn King, game idea Thorfinn King. Here's our back button, settings. Oh no, it is. It's crashing. Huh. What's going on? Oh, it makes me really sad. All right, we're gonna try one more time. We're gonna leave it in a smaller window. Is there music? All right, audio mixer's not showing anything, so I guess I'll just leave that like it is for now. Let's see if we can actually get into it. Oh. F to switch. No, it crashed again. Gosh darn it. This is unfortunate. All right, let's go about this a different way. Let's see if we can run it in the window. I know you said it's a little bit laggy, but for some reason the executable doesn't seem to be working right. Oh man. So oh no, it is crashing again. Ah, what the heck? Ah. Well, this is kind of unfortunate. I don't know if we're going to be able to play it. Well, let's just try doing it this way real quick. Let's see if that works. All right. Hmm. Something's going on with my desktop audio. Hello? Do I have something running in the background? What? What? Oh, that was... Okay, so the music actually loaded up. All right, cool, cool. All right, let's see if launching it this way works. So the itch launcher didn't like it. The web browser didn't like it. We're going to give this a try because I really, really want to check this out. I've got some cool things that I want to talk about with this game. So hopefully this will fix everything. So I guess while we're waiting, I'll segue into what I was going to say at first. So there was a game jam that I submitted a game for a while back. Okay, yeah, we're getting music's working now and everything. Ooh. Ooh, very loud. All right, that's better. Oh, now maybe that's it. Although I mean, it seems to be working now. So I guess we'll see. So we've got a puzzler where our two characters are linked together by a rope. So, ooh, does it actually snap? Oh no. Okay. Man. Well, this is really, really poopy. I'm so sorry, Thorfinn King. I don't know why. So people in chat are telling me that they had the game working just fine for them, although they were saying Windows 11. I unfortunately am on Windows 10. I say unfortunately, I mean the whole forced upgrade thing is kind of a. We're not going to get into that on stream. But yeah, so unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to play this. I'll reach out to you a bit later through the channel and see if we can figure something out because I definitely want to play it. But I will say what I was going to say. So I submitted a game for a jam a while back called BS. And it was a similar concept. So there were these two characters that were tethered together by a connection. And unfortunately, I was still super green in the gills as far as a developer. I mean, I'm still super new as far as development goes, but I was even newer when I put that game together, and I could not get the physics to work well, and the tether was a difficult thing to code in and work. And I mean, it ended up being a puzzle platformer where you had to control two different characters, you swap back and forth between them, right? And you're trying to navigate through these puzzles with a couple different tools at your disposal. But I loved the concept of it. I just really hated that I wasn't able to execute, excuse me, execute on it well. So hopefully I'll get to play your game at another time, just because it tickled me in a good way. All right, next up, we've got Relation Connection. This was a submission by Sullivan. Thank you so much for your submission. Welcome to Relation Connection, the game made for We Be Jammin 7. You are two little cubes, one blue, one red. The blue one follows your inputs perfectly, but the red one does the opposite of your inputs. Try to beat all the levels, even if they're not that hard. May release new updates soon. Ooh, okay. Interesting puzzle concept already. Relation connections. There we go. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Holy crap. Oh my. Okay. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's any way to control the music volume, so I am going to have to keep that off. We're going to get blasted again in a second here. What? The whole file just disappeared. What? Okay. I man, I'm swinging and missing right now. What is going on? Okay. 3 streams. Oh, there should only be one. Although, when I was initially trying to get the stream up and running, there may have been some issues. Because, like I had said to you guys in chat, there was something going on where it was like forbidden. Okay. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to reach out to that developer as well to figure that out. That's unfortunate. I mean, it looked like it was gonna be pretty cute, and I like the concept of the puzzle. All right, stack, stack, attack. All right, we've got a submission here from Kisami. Kisami's another one of our returning veterans. I'll be very interested to see what they were able to do here. A card-based point-and-click game where player stack element cards. I mean, hopefully my antivirus didn't delete it. I scanned all the files before I did anything. Like I'm super paranoid of that fact. Potentially, I mean, right? It's a game jam, and I don't know any of you guys. You guys don't know me, so somebody could hop in with malicious intent. So I do try to make sure that before I open everything up, I'm sandboxed. No, there's quite a few new participants, submitters, developers who have joined us this year. So, but yeah, we'll have to look into that a little bit more. So, don't know what's going on. Controls left mouse button to click. P.S. I was really busy with some IRL things during this jam, so I wasn't able to focus much on polishing and adding game juice. All right, well, we will keep that in mind as we jump into your game. Stack, stack, attack. Sorry, I'm just looking on okay. Okay. I'm not sure what the music reminds me of. It almost kind of reminds me of yacht rock. Like it's got this very nice gentle undertone to it, like da 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 da. So I'm not sure if it really fits for stack stack attack, but we'll see as we move in. We've got some game juice here, buttons popping out at us. Looks like we're going to be working with the different elements. Rules: select element cards to add them to the stack. Every card displays the base damage and the stack multiplier. Rule 3. Stack multiplier is multiplied to the base damage and can be increased using a combination synergy of cards. The stack multiplier resets after every third card selection. Yeah, sorry if the stream's going down and popping back up for you guys. I don't know, the whole YouTube live thing was acting really weird today. I don't think it's on my end. I actually ended up having to reroute to one of YouTube's backup servers, and that's the only way I was even able to get the stream up today. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, cool. All right, so the developer of Relation Connection did reach out to me. And it sounds like my computer did, in fact, delete the file. So I'll have to figure out some way to circumnavigate that so we can actually play the game. We'll figure that out later, when I'm not on stream and I can troubleshoot things a little bit more. The stack multiplier resets after every third card selection. Okay. Every round, the player... the player must deal enough damage to go to the next stage. For all the additional damage the player deals, coins will be awarded, which can be used to buy new cards. Okay. Player cards are reset after every round. Okay. Alright, so we can pause. We can go back to the main menu if we need to mess with it. Okay. So unfortunately, we can't adjust anything once we're in the game, but I mean, we already set up the sound anyways. I will say, just real quick, now I do know that you did say you were pressed for time, so obviously this is probably something that you did intend, but with the pause menu, you do want to also be able to alter these settings as well. And I mean, I'm sure you know that. We've talked about that before. Ooh, I like the shading here with your buttons. But yeah, so rather than having to reset the whole game. Okay, so we've got our elements for here. Stacked cards. Synergies. Okay, so earth, fire, and wind. Or leaf, or grass. I mean, are we talking about Pokemon types? Hopefully I don't get sued by Nintendo. Are we talking about Pokemon types, or are we talking about elements? Like, is this the element grass? Is it the element earth? No, doesn't really matter. We've got earth, water, lightning, fire, air. Okay, okay. We don't have any money, so we can't spend anything yet. Let's try... Oh, I couldn't select that for some reason. Still can't. Low fire. Maybe I didn't fully understand the instructions. Damage 11. Stacked cards. Okay, so we're stacking the cards. We've got fire, water. Well, fire and water don't go together at all. Why? I can't... Huh. I don't think I have any earth. Maybe we don't have any of those cards yet, and we'll get them in the shop later. Okay. So we need to stack more. So let's try lightning, water, air. Oh yeah, look at that. Stage complete. Damage required 100. Damage done 84. Oh, I failed. Okay. Well, now that we know we can't actually access that one, we could probably do something like this. So now let's see how we can get these stacks going on. So first and foremost, we need to do something that's going to stack immediately. So let's do the wind, water, and lightning. Okay, so that brings us to 68, but we still have 2 more to go. So we've got... I think lightning was the last one that we hit. So then we probably want to do fire, wind. Yeah, okay, look at that. All right, so we can stack by overlapping. All right, I understand. So what you end on is very important. Coins received, 60. Nice. Okay. So now we can actually get an earth card. So we've got 10 times 1.3. Let's go ahead and take that. Okay. So now that we know we've got that, although, I mean, I really liked this one. Did that do enough damage? I don't think it did. Let's see what we can pull. Why do we not have water now? What? Okay. Huh. I guess I don't completely understand why sometimes we have access to certain elements but not the others. So this is what we have access to. I think we're gonna have... I mean, how do we even synergize this? 3.5 times 45. And then we can do times 2 and times 2.5. But see, now we're ending on wind, so we would need water, lightning. Or do we just, I don't know, do that again? I don't know. Keeps us in the same level. Oh. Now we have different... I mean, that's all we can really do, right? I don't know how I did it, but I did it. All right, this must be, I don't understand how the synergies are working. So that's got to be... Oh my goodness. All right. So we've got times 15, right? So we can do... Wah, wah, wah. Stacked cards 3. I mean, we made it work. I don't entirely understand how we made it work, but we made it work. Got quite a few coins there. Thanks for playing. All right. Hey, yeah, okay, all right. Let's launch. You know, I think this is just the universe telling me that I should drop a ton of money on a new computer. I mean, this rig is pretty awesome. I shouldn't need one. I'm not sitting on state of the art stuff, but this is by no means a slouch of a rig, so I don't know what the heck's going on. Maybe it's because of how Mickey Moused everything is. Yeah. Or maybe it's the whole Windows thing. Maybe they're just really pissed off that I refuse to get a Windows 11 operating system. So they're like, well, we're going to continue to bog you down until it just doesn't work. All right, so we're struggling to open that back up. So we're just going to talk about our finishing thoughts for Stack Attack. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk game loop. I could see what you were going for there. Maybe I didn't have enough time to fully absorb it. Maybe I didn't fully understand the way in which the rules worked. It's entirely possible that that is the case. I mean, obviously, I'm streaming this and I've got a chat open, so there's a lot of things going on that are kind of occupying mental energy and space. So it is entirely possible that I just didn't quite understand your game loop, and we are still running. Why are we still running? Force close. We don't want to run anymore. So that's possibly what we were dealing with there, and that's not necessarily anything that I can knock you for. But on the game itself, like, I can see what you're going for, right? Card game, we're trying to create synergies to reach and or exceed certain thresholds. Yeah, I mean, it was there. It was honestly probably just my lack of understanding in how everything settled together. So, for a game loop perspective, how we can kind of look at that from the developer is, you know, build in the show don't tell tutorialization, right? Because if me representing the average gaming population, and I mean, I am a simpleton, I am an idiot, right? And that is the average human. We are pretty dumb creatures. There's a reason why Yellowstone National Park has such an issue with their trash cans. Because what they've found is that there is a very big overlap between the smartest bears and the dumbest tourists. And as we know, tourists are human, and we are human. So yeah, collectively, we are kind of dumb. So setting up the show don't tell tutorialization of your first level, definitely, if you can wing it, if you can figure out how to build around that, I would almost argue that as a developer, 9 times out of 10, 99% of the time, that is always going to be your better option moving forward, because A, it's going to remove any ambiguity on how your game is played. Right? You're the developer, so you know exactly what you've coded and how things are supposed to interact. So it's going to be so much easier for you to just kind of hop in and then look at, stupid me over here, be like, wow, he just doesn't get it. Like, dude, just click that thing over there. Come on, just click it. It's right there. But you get what I'm saying, right? Is I can only imagine how frustrating it is for you as a developer to watch me futz and fumble my way through that. But yeah, so it's a really good note for everybody. If you can build tutorialization into your game, you're going to end up having a lot less players who find themselves confused, and therefore they end up giving you a bad rating, or they don't even give your game a chance because they just can't figure it out. Yeah. So let's move on from there. Theme interpretation, connections. I mean, obviously, we're trying to build synergies in this game. So that's a very direct, on the nose. They're connected, right? If the synergies are connected, we're going to get bigger points. Bigger points means we win. So totally see how that's coming on. Original concept. I would say necessarily that card battlers, synergies, and trying to exceed certain thresholds. Not in and of itself an original concept, but I think the way in which you went about it was pretty original. So nice work there. Technical execution. Um, I didn't run into any bugs unless it was a bug where the certain levels I just didn't have access to certain elements. I don't know if that was supposed to be the way or not. So this does kind of run into again why tutorialization can be really important, right? Because now I'm left wondering, was that an intended feature or was it a bug? Isn't that always the $1 million question, right? Like, God, there's some reference to something there where like, oh, that's not a bug, that's an intended feature. But you get what I'm saying. But other than that, nice work, especially with having so much stuff going on in real life and still being able to crank out a fleshed out game. Fantastic job. Nice work, my dude. All right, we've got two more to get through. Let's see if we can finish both of these in less than 20 minutes so this stream doesn't go longer than 2 hours. I mean, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job. I'm sticking between 10 and 15 minutes per. I think I just need to accept that as we draw more of a crowd, that these are just going to end up being longer streams. It's just going to be a thing. Definitely something that I am going to try to do for everybody, though. I am going to start putting timestamps into the videos moving forward. So that way, I mean, while I would love to encourage you to watch through the whole thing and see everybody's games and all that, obviously some people are just going to come here because they want to see feedback on their game. So I am going to start trying to add timestamps, especially to our longer feeds, so that way you can hop right to your game where it was reviewed, and then you can get my feedback. So here is Super Cow Studios submission, Siphon Connect. Added a download link just in case it does not run in browser correctly. Game was made for We Be Jammin' number 7. First time ever making a game. Fantastic work. New to development, learning as I go. We love that. That is what we are here for. We are a bunch of newbies hanging out, trying to make better games, and maybe laughing a little bit as we go about. So you are in the right place, my friend. So we're going to do the obligatory thing where we wait for a second and see if our game decides to crash and then reload. So far, looks like it's working. Does appear to be some screen tearing going on. I'm not going to assume that's your game. I'm going to assume that is actually my rig, because I do get some screen tearing from time to time. And I have been trying to isolate and fix that issue for years now, and I haven't been able to figure it out. So yeah, this is probably a me issue. So if you guys are seeing this in the recording, that's my screen tearing, not the game, I don't think. Oh, okay, all right. I see what's going on now. This is one of those balance puzzles where... Oh, fantastic. Okay. Yep, I see what's going on. So we're trying, I guess, to get all the way to the end here, and then we can flip this based on varying degrees. So the first thing that I would say, as a player, as a developer, okay, so right now that looks super tilted, but the physics are not rolling it. So what I was going to say, as a player, as a developer, you definitely want to add like a little gyroscope on the side of the board, because from perspective, right, like it is darn near impossible to tell how many degrees I have it tilted, or if I'm flat, something like that. So I would say, wait a minute, how do I even get over there? Oh, okay, we can go through here. My brain wasn't working for a second. You'll definitely want to include some kind of gyroscope with this game, just so that way your player has a better idea of what angle they're moving at. I mean, obviously, for simplicity's sake, this is great. I used to have a labyrinth game when I was a kid, and it was one of my stupid favorite things to do. So this looks like it's tilted down, but it is... What? Yeah, I guess that's really not tilted that much. Although the ball also looks like it's got like bits on it, so that could be controlling it a little bit too. This is going to be tricky, trying to get right around this corner. I'm going to give it one more little roll. No, come on, you can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. All right, we'll give it another little bump. Too much. So I should probably figure out how far to the right we are. Oh my goodness. Yeah, all right. I need a gyroscope. What? Are we not tilted down? What? How are we moving backwards? What is going on here? Oh my goodness. You know, we're gonna try and flip it. Over the wall. Come on. Ha ha. All right. We got to get all the way over now, right? We're going to cheat. Jeez. I got that one flip, but now I can't get it again. Come on. Come on. There we go. I mean, I definitely don't think you intended for people to cheat at your game, but I could not get around that last quarter, so we're going to do it this way. Oh my goodness. Come on, come on. There we go. No. Oh! All that cheating just to fail at the end. All right. Hey, so I'm going to say right out of the gate, first game, really, really good job, man. You know, we've got some physics-based stuff here. I do believe that these little nodules on the ball are affecting everything too, right? So that's really cool. You've got some very interesting physics going on here. And they seem to be pretty accurate. I mean, I can flip the ball up and over the wall. Now, granted, if that wasn't your intention, you might be able to set something up so players can't do that. But who knows? Maybe you design a level further down where the whole intent is you have to figure out ways to cheat the puzzle. But definitely, I would say one huge little thing you could add in that would absolutely elevate this game to the next level from where it is, adding in a little gyroscope image that helps the player understand when the board is level, right? Because you have to remember, we're looking at this top down, but also at a slight angle. So things are going to be very off perception-wise, and giving your player another dimension of which to let their brain kind of like wrap around where everything's moving, it's going to be huge, right? It's going to increase the enjoyability of the game. It's going to make it so people can beat it without having to, you know, do cheesy little things like what I was doing. How far can we tip this board? Oh, yeah, we can go ahead and flip that all the way over. Oh, too funny. I am going to see if we can beat it. All right, real quick. Come on, we got this. We got this. Hey, look at that. You can see the great show where I flipped everything over. All right, so yeah, let's talk about game loop. I mean, Labyrinth, really simple, right? Like, I mean, it's one of the oldest puzzle games that there is. And this is built off of a design. I don't even know if they make these anymore, but the idea is, right, you've got the two axes that you can control and it moves the board in both of those axes. And then the idea is, right, you're trying to navigate a puzzle, avoid holes, avoid edges where you can fall off, stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, the game loop idea is here. It's a puzzle game. Although it does appear to be unwinnable, unless this is not actually the end. If the game is actually painting every single edge of this green, then oh my goodness, that's going to be a really challenging game and not one that I'm going to be playing. But I see what you're going for here. Really nice work. All right, moving on. Theme interpretation, connections. I don't. Hmm. All right, let's see. It's ambiguous on purpose. How how do we spin connections as a theme for this? Well, the board is connected to two different axes. And I assume to complete it, we need to connect a path from start to finish. Okay, so I could see that's where we're gonna run into connections. Yeah, I can do that. Original concept. Labyrinth is one of the oldest games imaginable. That being said, I don't think I have ever seen somebody digitize it before. So I would say, as far as original video game concepts go, yeah, this is pretty original. And it does leave a lot of room for opening up even more things. Like you could have holes in the board that the player has to navigate around that you could fall through. Um, you know, yeah. But let's move on to technical execution. So first and foremost, adding in that little gyroscope animation on the side that basically it mimics and mirrors whatever degree angle that you're moving the board at, so that way your player doesn't have to rely on trying to multi-space their brain from what they're perceiving as a top down into what the actual angle of approach is. And you don't have to get super complicated with it, right? Like, it doesn't even have to be numbered. It can just be like two flat squares, and then when you tilt it up or down, you can see that square tilt that direction, and then left and right, the second square tilts that direction. So you almost create. It would basically be your board, but it would be if you flipped it completely. Here, let me actually do this. It would be like you flipped your board, like so that's not going to let us do it. But real quick, right? It would be like you flipped your board like this. So then as you move left, right, all that, you would see that square move. That would help your brain just kind of figure out what's going on in space. So that's a little technical execution thing that you could do better. Some of the physics are a little bit sticky, but that could also just be because of the material of what the ball is made out of. So it's hard to tell, but it definitely looks like it's got little bumps on it that are affecting how it rolls. But who knows there? So yeah, hey, thank you so much for submitting a game to our game jam, and thank you so much, especially too, for being your first game and really putting yourself out there. Like that's brave, and it's a huge first step. And I want to make sure that I encourage you as a developer to continue on this journey. Keep learning, keep trying new things, keep submitting little projects to game jams so you can continue to refine your process, figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and you're definitely going to go far. Just keep working at it. But thank you again for your submission. This was really, really a fun little throwback to my childhood and playing Labyrinth. All right, how are we going to get out of this? Boop. Big X. Okay. Oh my goodness, guys, we are finally making our way to the last one. Lil Lovers. So this was a submission by Pioneer So. Hopefully I said that correctly. Overview. Lil Lovers is a small tile-based puzzle game. Go it alone or work together with a friend to make this budding romance happen. Well, I can probably guess already where the connections theme is coming in here. Connect our Lil Lovers' fates once and for all by conquering all the stages. But what is love if you don't work for it? Beware, as there are all sorts of obstacles trying to impede your progress to a healthy relationship. Help. Tino, Blue, and Tina, oh, Pink, spend a little more time together, as their dates can seemingly get a bit hectic. Good luck, you two! Fantastic. Okay. Tino is controlled with WASD. Tina is controlled with the arrow keys. Goal is to get both characters to meet on the same tile. Okay. Navigate stages to ship the two of them together. Credits, we've got our programming. Oh, Pioneer So, that's Axe. Okay, yeah. Oh, Axe has been a member for quite a while. I think this is their first submission though. So this will be kind of cool. I'll finally get to see some of your work outside of outside of the engine that you're building. So, fun little note for you guys: if you want to dig a little bit deeper and check into it, Axe has been working on their own engine for building games. So, something cool to check out. Obviously, something different from your usual Unity, Godot, RPG Maker, stuff like that. Launch. A few packages need to be installed once for little lovers. What? Yeah, you can do what you need to do. This may take a few minutes. I forget. Were we able to play this in a window, or is it only download? Nah, it's only download. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna leave that up just in case. Woo! Credits. How do I move back? Oh, escape key moves us back. Okay, cool, cool. I don't like that I can't control the audio level, because, man, that is a loud beep. But we're going to deal with it. Okay, so here's Tino, here's Tina. We need to get them to meet. So that moves that. That moves that. Bump. Oh, oh, that's adorable. That is absolutely adorable. What? Wait, what just happened? Did I break it? Okay. So I was able to bug it out a little bit by moving both. Interesting. Okay. So if I hit S and down at the same time, I can get them to skip a space. So if you're playing this, guys, definitely don't. What? Okay. Why does it keep going back to the beginning? What? No. No. Huh. All right, let's try loading that up again. Man, I really there must be something going on with my system, with my setup. This is the third game now where I'm having issues. All right, let's see. We do a force close, and then it should launch on the next time, right? You're killing me, Smalls. Absolutely killing me, Smalls. Let's try another force close. We'll give it a second. Do I have any thoughts that I can really say about it so far? Well, let's see. I mean, game loop. I can see what you're going for here, right? Like nice little puzzle platform. You got to get from one to, or you got to get them to meet, right? And then when they do finally meet, that is absolutely adorable. Technical execution. It does seem like the controls are competing and or conflicting. Like I was able to skip the tiles by hitting, S and down at the same time, or left and right at the same time. So it does seem like they're either. I mean, if you're trying to set this up so two people can play, right? There definitely has to be some kind of workaround, so that way the controls aren't competing with each other. But if you are setting it up where the player just switches back and forth between the two, then you can kind of skirt around that. Yeah, this is okay. So apparently, my stuff just decided it did not want to play those 3 games. So unfortunately, it is going to be a little bit tricky for me to give you an honest review for what's going on with that. But I'm going to add that to my list of games that I need to figure out how to play them, and then I'll get you guys some notes at a later time. So we're talking about our game loop. Nice simple puzzle. Totally understand what you were going for there. Theme interpretation. Definitely right on the head, right? We've got connections between Tina and Tino. They're little lovers. It's cute. It's adorable. We love it. Original concept. Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to think if there's any puzzle games in recent memory I can really think of where you're trying to get two ends of the puzzle to meet, or you're trying to navigate through two different things. I guess there are other situations in which they have, there's two entities and you're swapping control between the two, or you've got a player one and player two trying to overcome a puzzle together. So I will say that I don't think it's a concept that has been widely explored. So there's definitely plenty of room for the dual swap control or the one and two player puzzle, um, one and two player puzzle platformer, or just figure out where you both have a set of tools and skills. Actually, most recent memory I can think of would be Split Fiction. Did a very, very good job of this idea with having puzzles in which each player has a tool or a piece in which they can interact, they can fix it up. So that's pretty cool. Technical execution. I'm gonna chalk up the issues and errors that I was running into to being, on my end, not the game's end, mostly because we've already encountered other games where my computer just apparently does not want to play it. So we will have to figure that out. But I will say being able to kind of glitch it where I could double move them by utilizing the controls at the same time. That's probably just the only thing that I would recommend peeking under the hood at to set it up so you can't uh, get that. So actually, that does open up a very good spot for us to talk about, testing as a game dev. So when we are testing our own games, one of the things that you're going to want to try to do is always set up time to do what's called edge case breaking, right? So it's really easy to find those bugs that are overwhelmingly obvious, right? Like they just completely stop gameplay from happening. But the edge cases, those are the ones that are going to be really tougher to figure out and find when you're just going through a normal playthrough. So, one of the things that you'll want to do is set up a little bit of time to play through your game and just really try to break it. Like, make that your goal. Don't play the game to play the game, play the game to try and break it. This is something that I've kind of developed with some of the things that I've been doing moving forward. And I've found that being able to address an edge case oftentimes will help me figure out a better way of doing something else that works within the game's framework. And also, it's also helped me pick up on certain things that could potentially, just be one of those real immersion pulling glitches or bugs that you don't want a player to run into. It's just a pain in the butt. Now, obviously, these are game jam games. These aren't even alpha releases of anything, so there's gonna be bugs. Like, it's gonna happen. But if you have some time, and if you can set aside the time to do some edge case breaking, it definitely will help you as a developer, because you'll also be able to preemptively see where those things can happen and then almost start to work ways in which you can not even have them be an issue to begin with, right? It'll help you clean up how you code things in general moving forward in the future when you identify edge cases and how they can break games. But anyways, guys, if you had an awesome time hanging out with us today, I do apologize to the three developers whose games I really didn't get to dive into. I know you guys worked super hard, and honestly, that breaks my heart the most, is because you worked so hard on this. And my promise to you as the host was that I was going to play your game on a live stream and give you some feedback for it that could help you on your developer journey. So this does break my heart, and I'm really sad and sorry that I was not able to play your games in the stream, in this playthrough. But we will figure it out. I'll figure out a way to play your game and get back to you to give you some notes. Because that's the least I can do for all the hard work that you put in. And that is to say, I want to say to everybody who submitted a game and to everybody who's been a member of our community, and hopefully, some people watching this, maybe they'll want to join our community. Just thank you guys so much. Without you guys, I wouldn't have a reason to do any of this. And I love the fact that we've got all these cool ideas coming together. We've got developers, all working hard to try and make themselves better. And it's a really fun learning opportunity. I learned so much from doing these. And I'm really thrilled that you guys encouraged me to put my own game out for the jam, which, spoiler alert, we did not play it. I didn't think it would be appropriate. I didn't think it would be right if I played and rated my own game. Obviously because I could look at it and then I could, I that's a better video for like doing a devlog on where I play through my game and talk about all the issues that I had with it, things that, but some other time. I do want to do devlogs like that in the future, but we'll address that at a later date. So again, thank you guys so much for encouraging me to put out my own game. Thank you guys for playing it and leaving me the feedback. That was really awesome. I'm super stoked about that. So hopefully you guys had an awesome time, and I really hope people will continue to join in on our jams and keep giving me a reason to do 2-hour streams. So that's going to be it for us today, guys. My name is Grimmy, and this is Grimlight Games. Thanks so much for joining me today, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.